Hey guys, this is DeSHANTA B, and I'm here today to share with you a super easy, beginner-friendly crock-pot franks and beans recipe. This recipe is super easy, it's a no-fail recipe, and I will be showing you step by step how to create this recipe at home. You know what time it is. Let's get to the ingredients and stop playing. Are you ready? Let's go. Disclaimer, guys. I am not paid or sponsored by any of the companies whose products you will see in this video. I have purchased these products on my own accord, and I'm just going to tell you where I got these products from so you're not running all over town looking for these ingredients. That's it, and that's all. For this recipe, guys, I will be using a 14-ounce package of beef franks. You can use any brand, you can use any type of franks that's conducive for you. I am also using a 16-ounce bag of PICTSWEET 3-color pepper and onion strips. Guys, if you want to cut fresh onions and fresh peppers, please feel free. Any time that I can cut down cooking time in the kitchen, I'm going to take advantage of it. So this is a 16-ounce bag of peppers and onion strips. I will be using two 28-ounce cans of Bush's vegetarian baked beans. You can use any brand of baked beans and any type of baked beans that is conducive for you. I will be using light brown sugar as well as white or raw sugar. I will be using these two sugars together. Molasses and the Heinz Carolina sweet mustard barbecue sauce. If you don't want to use the sweet mustard barbecue sauce, you can use regular honey mustard or just plain yellow mustard. Ketchup, minced garlic and some olive oil, liquid smoke, and some Worcestershire sauce, all-purpose seasoning, and some black pepper, onion powder, and some barbecue seasoning. If you do not have the barbecue seasoning, don't worry about it. You guys know I have like a plethora of seasonings in my pantry. And for the heat, you can use one or the other. I will be using the kicking chicken, but you can also use cayenne pepper or crushed red pepper flakes. You can also use Creole seasoning. Okay guys, moving on. Guys, you will also need your crock pot, a colander, and a large bowl, and a piece of foil. Let's go. Guys, this step is optional. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my beans and I'm going to pour them in this colander and rinse off the liquid, the syrupy liquid that's in the beans. If you are okay with this flavor, don't worry about it. You can skip this step, but I don't really like the taste of the syrup that's in these cans. So all I'm going to do now is just pour my beans into this colander and rinse them off with cold water. Then I'm going to transfer them to the mixing bowl. Okay, let's go. Okay guys, moving on. I have transferred the beans that I rinsed the syrupy sauce off into a clean bowl. Once again, guys, if you don't have any problems with the syrup that's in the can, all you have to do is just pour your beans into the bowl directly from the can. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the ingredients, just dump everything, then we're going to mix it up and put it into the crock pot. Okay, let's go. I'm going to add the pepper and onion strips. I'm probably only going to do half a bag. Yes, that's good enough. So I only use half of a 16-ounce bag. I'm adding half a cup of the raw or white sugar, 2 cups of the brown sugar, ketchup. I'm so happy to get rid of these little packets, guys, that you get when you order food. Now I'm going to add a cup of the sweet mustard Heinz Carolina sauce. Guys, if you don't want to use this one, you can use any barbecue sauce that you have on hand. About a teaspoon or 2 of Worcestershire sauce. Guys, let me explain to you about this liquid smoke. It is seriously concentrated. You don't want to be heavy-handed with this liquid smoke. The liquid smoke gives your food the taste of long cooking, and also as if you have cooked your food out on the grill. I also use this in my greens, my collard greens, my mustard greens, and some of my other vegetables. So I'm just going to put 1 or 2 drops because it is very concentrated. About a teaspoon of minced garlic, 1 to 2 teaspoons of the barbecue seasoning, remember, guys, you can go light to start with your seasoning. You can always add, but you can't take away. 1 to 2 teaspoons of the kicking chicken. Remember, guys, you can substitute the kicking chicken with crushed red bell pepper flakes, cayenne, or Creole seasoning. My all-purpose seasoning. Onion powder, 1 to 2 teaspoons of that, some black pepper, 1 to 3 tablespoons of molasses, and a little olive oil, about a teaspoon. So now, guys, all you're going to do is mix all of these ingredients until well blended. Since there isn't any raw meat or raw eggs in this beans and the seasonings, I'm going to taste and adjust any of the seasonings if it need be. Guys, don't be afraid to taste your food. Now I'm going to taste to see if there needs to be any seasoning adjustments. Guys, just remember, when you are taste testing, please make sure you have 2 different utensils. Do not use the same utensil that you put in your mouth to put back into your food, unless it's just you that's going to eat it. Okay? Let's give it a taste. See guys, do you see the color of the sauce? Already you can tell the brown sugar. Oh, let me just taste it. Oh, wow. That's it. Yep. I don't have to put anything else. Let's just move on to the crock pot. Wow. Guys, I have my crock pot. I had to preheat my crock pot because this crock pot, which is one of my favorites, she's a little old and she ain't what she used to be, so I have to give her a head start. So what I'm going to do now is just place the beans into the crock pot. Also too guys, I did add the entire bag of the peppers and onions. I like to see color in my food, so I didn't see enough, so I just went ahead and added the remainder of that 16-ounce bag of peppers and onions mixed. So guys, I'm just going to put a little piece of foil over the crock pot, then put the lid on. And once again, for those of you that want to know why I always use foil, I use foil to keep all of the heat centered on the food, so no air or no heat escapes. So that's what I'm going to do guys. I'm just going to put the foil on, put the top on. I have my setting on low for 4 hours. Okay, moving on. Now I'm going to prep the hot dogs or Franks or wieners. Whichever way you say it, it still sounds funny to me. I'm going to prep the hot dogs, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse these hot dogs off. Guys, I don't know what this syrupy stuff is in here, but I just feel more comfortable knowing that I've cleaned these hot dogs off. Okay, so I'm just going to place them into the colander. See guys, I don't know what that, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know what that stuff is. I don't like it. Okay, so I'm just going to rinse the hot dogs off with cold water. And that's it. Moving on to the next step. Now let me state guys, you can totally omit this step and just place your hot dogs straight into the crock pot and the beans as they are. But I just wanted to cook the hot dogs a little bit and add a little bit of texture to it. Okay, so all I'm going to do now, I have 3 cups of water in a skillet on medium heat between 4 and 6, and I'm just going to add the hot dogs to the water. I'm going to allow these to come to a boil. They'll probably take about 15 to 20 minutes. Once they start to boil, then I will be back with the next step. Moving on. It's been about 15 minutes, and as you can see, a lot of the water has evaporated. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to carefully pour off the rest of the liquid that's in the skillet, and then I'm going to return the hot dogs back to the heat. Okay, moving on. I have poured off all of the excess water. I have my heat on between 3 and 4. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is allow the skin to char a little bit or to have that snap. So do not walk away from this step, guys, if you choose to use this method, because this will go very, very fast. I'm also going to continue to turn the hot dogs from one side to the other, almost like when you get a grilled hot dog outside at one of these hot dog places. Okay, let's go. As you can see, the hot dogs are beginning to pop. That means the skin is toughening up, and all of the juices inside of these hot dogs are being released. So you're just going to continue to turn your hot dogs. The natural oils are coming out in the hot dogs. The hot dogs are starting to pop, and you're starting to see that shine that's on the hot dogs. That's what I'm looking for, guys. Okay, guys, this is exactly how I wanted it. So now I'm just going to remove the hot dogs from the heat and turn the heat off and move to the next step. Moving on. Now, guys, as you can see, the natural oils from the hot dog was released with the manner in which I cook these hot dogs. This is also the way that I grill my hot dogs on the stove. Maybe I'll do a video with the hot dogs and dressing it up and all that good stuff. So what you can do at this point, you can put the hot dogs right into the crock pot with the beans exactly as they are, but I'm going to cut them down into smaller pieces so that you can get a hot dog or wiener or frank with every bite alongside with the beans. Okay, let's go. You can cut the hot dogs any way that you want, any size that you want. I'm just cutting them on a slant. Let me move this up so that you can see it. Okay, guys, I'm just going to continue cutting up the hot dogs, and then we'll be back with the final step. I have cut up all of the hot dogs, and I wanted you to see, guys, all of the flavor that's on the skin, and you can also see how moist the hot dogs are. So okay, let's get these hot dogs into the crock pot. Okay, guys, these beans have been cooking for about an hour and 15 minutes, so they still have a ways to go, but the smell is ridiculous. Ooh. Okay, so let's add the hot dogs. So now all I'm going to do is just mix the hot dogs in with the beans, put the foil back on, put the crock pot top back on, and let the beans and the hot dogs continue to cook. And I'm going to walk away. All the prep work will be done. Guys, while these beans and hot dogs are cooking, you can make up a batch of hot water cornbread or regular cornbread. Get you some Texas toast or garlic bread. It all depends on how you're going to serve this. Wow, this smells so good. Our prep work is done. I'm just going to cover this up and All we have to do is wait for these beans to continue to cook. Okay, moving on. It's been about 3.5 hours. These beans smell like they are done. So what I'm going to do now is check to see if the sauce has thickened up. The beans were already cooked and I cooked the hot dogs. So we're just waiting for everything to marry together. All of the peppers and onions and the garlic. And so let me stop talking and just open up the crock pot. Okay guys, just like I thought. Let me give you a better look of these beans. Wow. These beans have cooked down so nice. Just what I wanted them to do. The crock pot came through again. It's nice and thick. The beans are not runny. Look at that, guys. So guys, these beans took 3 hours and I'd say about 15-20 minutes on low. So I'm quite sure it would take maybe about 1.5 hours on high. Yes, you can put this recipe in the oven, but for those times that you have a lot to do, you don't feel like standing by and monitoring the stove or the oven, the crock pot is a great thing to have. And also too, with the holidays coming up and it's football time, guys, you can prepare this the night before. Just place it in the middle of your table. And the good thing about the crock pot, once the food is cooked, it has an option to keep your food warm until all of your food is gone. So guys, you know what time it is. Give this recipe a try and stop playing. Okay guys, I've taken some of the hot beans and hot dogs, placed them in this bowl. Let me give you a little close up. Look at that, guys. Oh my. So guys, they're very hot, but look at that, guys. Look at that, nice and thick. All right, let's go right here. Okay, I'm going in. All right. Yup. Oh man. Wow. Wow. I'm so glad that I grilled the hot dogs, guys. It gives the hot dog some texture. The beans, broth, the sauce, or whatever you want to call it, is so good. The beans, oh, everything just fit perfectly. Guys, you can make this your main meal, or it can be a side dish at a barbecue or any type of gathering that you have. I guarantee this is going to be one of the first things that everyone's going to eat and finish first. So while everyone's running around trying to fight over the stove, just get you a crock pot, get your preparation done, and you could sit down while everybody else is running around. Oh my, this is really really good. Excuse me. Woo! Guys. Excuse me. You know what time it is. Give this easy, beginner-friendly, step-by-step Crockpot Franks and beans recipe a try. You will not be disappointed. And until the next recipe, bye guys. Yes, Lord. Yes. Excuse me.